Well, we're live.
Woo!
Hey,
The big intro.
Good evening, everybody. It's time for the show. Let's go. Let's go.
yeah.
My goodness, we were standing here having our little pre-talk before we started. I got the Chiefs game going over here on the other side, and I didn't even realize that while we were chatting, it's already 3-3. I already got scores on. God, it's driving me nuts. Okay, quit paying attention to me. I'm going to be checking out here at 7 o'clock because I told the wife I'd be back for the second half of the game. We got company upstairs and everything. So anyway, welcome, everybody. If you're not watching a football game, I hope you're here. So, hello.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm surprised, pleasantly surprised, Greg, that you were able to make it with the Chiefs being in the playoffs. But
the nice thing is with 3 monitors, I actually hate to brag. I know I'm bragging, but I can watch the game over here. And like I said, with the only reason I'm going to go up to 7 is I thought I'd watch the last part of it with Cheryl and Travis and Chips, Mickey, and all that. But not Mickey, Betty, little Betty. But anyway, yeah, I'm able to sit here and kind of watch. And I don't know if it gets too bad and it starts. Gets too bad, not in my favor. I guess it'll stop me from having a heart attack. I'll just turn it off.
Greg, it's not really bragging that you have 3 screens. People do. Like Derek, for instance, he has a 3-screen pinball machine that he never plays. So, yeah. You're not the only one with 3 screens.
No.
So there are people out there that, yeah. So what's new?
I just feel bad because, I got 3 screens and Poe didn't even have heat.
That's right. I have a green screen. Matches Bart's shirt.
Yeah,
he'd be a floating head.
Be a floating head. That's awesome. Yeah, you do have that awesome Atari sign though, Poe. So there's that. Yeah,
that is a great sign. That is a great sign. Well, hey, let's talk real quick. Does anybody know? I got to admit, I got sidetracked and forgot to check. Who ended up with a high score on our retro arcade game challenge for this week?
Oh, the Ms. Pac-Man?
Yeah, Ms. Pac-Man.
I came in second.
Yeah, I knew you had the top for a while, so who ended up taking the top spot? I forgot to check.
Kelly's delusional. She didn't even play. It was
someone in the Discord.
Yeah, it was DK something.
Yeah.
Donkey. I didn't recognize his name, but he was on the Discord. He got 55,000 something.
Yeah, something crazy.
To my 35. I thought I had a pretty good game with that 35,000, but and I don't have my phone. So I can't check. I can't check the Discord.
Well, you know what? I now that I think about it, I don't know why we're worried about it anyway. That somebody had a job for that anyway. If you remember, we did assign that job.
Yeah, and it was his tournament, right? He came up with the game we were playing. He was supposed to keep track of who won, and I don't know. We're not going to drop any names or anything, but we could put that up there. I don't know.
anyway,
he's not even listening. He probably turned off his speakers 10 minutes ago because he knew he was going to catch some shit from us. So hang on a second. I'm freaking out here. I got to do this. I'm feeling weird because I was in the wrong spot.
That's kind of the angle you're sitting. You know, it depends. Like if I'm sitting this way versus if I'm sitting this way.
Yeah. See,
now
I do have my new a little bit. It looks like I'm watching Poe.
I do have my new studio light on. But you know, this thing I was telling you about it earlier, I don't mind telling. It's a therapy light. They call it. They call it a therapy light for people that are like that have
for growing weed. The weed light for therapy.
I don't know. We can ask Chaos about that. He might know. But actually, this thing doesn't put off any UV light, so it's not supposed to be damaging to you. But it's bright as hell. And I don't know what you guys pay for studio lights, but I think I paid like those ring lights and stuff. I mean, take a look. You can see now. Here it is. It's on. I'll turn it off.
That looks better.
Okay, I'll leave it like that. You know. No, I need the sunshine, or I'll have a breakdown. But you want to see that's the lowest setting here, higher, and that's maximum.
Yeah, so, now mine can be considered a therapy because it always makes Kelly feel better when I do this with it. Because then she said I get better looking all the time.
It says don't look directly at it, so I've got it over off to the side. But now I'm looking directly at it. I wonder what happens if you look directly at it. I'm going to look directly at it for just a minute here.
Black old oh my gosh.
Your hair's on fire.
I don't know. It's a cool light, and it makes me feel good. It makes me happy.
Oh, nice.
It makes me happy.
Don't make me go get my ukulele.
Ruben
So anyway, so that was our challenge for this week was the Miss Pac-Man, and we had some participation though. So I thought that was fun. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, we did. I think that Chaos might have been Kelly said your light was bright, and then Chaos said Poe's hat is. So maybe that's what he was referring to. Kelly's it's bright because Poe's got a pretty bright hat there.
Oh, I got my Parappa the Rapper hat on.
Wow. I like the hat. It does. It shines up. And it keeps the glare off the screen.
Right.
Not that we all don't have that. Matter of fact, it's time for me to go get another shave. But so what's everybody been doing? I'll tell you what I've been doing. I've been playing a lot of Nintendo Switch. I don't know why, but I just got the Switch out this week, and mainly because it's been so cold. It's cold. Nothing like you got, Poe, out in your garage, but I mean, this downstairs is cold. And the nice thing is I can sit with a Switch with the wife right next to me watching TV and got a pair of headphones on, and I don't bother her, and she doesn't bother me. And I did buy that doodad, whatever this thing, that Nitro deck. I'm telling you what, I really love this Nitro deck. I highly recommend it.
It looks delicious.
Yeah, well, the controls, people complain about the controls aren't easy to access, but I think they are. I mean, and the cool thing is when the Switch comes out of it, you can take the Switch out. It doesn't come out. But it comes out.
In theory.
Why did I start this? Don't
just
start
a little Vaseline.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh. Greg, it might be time to change your Switch handle because Derek's been stalking you. Says he sees you've been playing the Switch a lot. I hope he's seeing you with your Switch handle. He's not like peeking through your windows. Maybe that's what he was doing when he was supposed to be keeping track of the scores for the tournament that he started.
Well, see, it's the same one for the OLED and the regular Switch. And I notice the regular Switch just falls in and out. And there's nothing you have to adjust. And this is the OLED one that I put in here today. And, oh, my God. It's in there. It's tight. It does come out. I've had it out before. what I was getting ready to say is that you can hook a USB into here, and you can play it like a Xbox controller without the switch in it. So
Right.
I may do a video on it, put it on the channel.
Oh, you're gonna make some kind of joke there? There's plenty of jokes to be had about this whole thing. The regular switch is the front door. The OLED is the back door. I don't know.
I just say how nothing ever goes right when you're live, right? Get the ball peen hammer out. You'll get it out of there.
Well, it's just driving me nuts now that it won't come out of there.
Well, while you're wrestling with that, I'm going to put a couple things up here. They were talking about that tournament, and Game Freak said he thinks Ms. Pac-Man is better than the original. And
Game Freak
responded, yeah, he says the same. Yeah, so. And we did have a couple other people pop in, too, while you're wrestling with that.
Well, say hello to
Herb Wars is here. And who else was it? The chat's moving along, so I lost track of who else. Yeah, Herb War popped in. Good to see you, Herb.
Hey, Herb.
And
Game Freak.
Game Freak was the other one. Yeah, maybe that was Game Freak was the other one that I saw pop in. Yeah. So.
Yeah. Keep going because I can't get this thing out of here. It's going to drive me
insane.
Some
of Pose moisturizer, Greg.
The yeah, look it up. It's called Anal Ease. It works great on cracked hands and other cracks.
That is so weird. Every other time it's come out of there, I don't know what I've done, and now I'm starting to have one of my episodes. Yeah.
Well, you've been playing that. I've been playing a lot of iArcade, and I'm loving it. Absolutely loving it.
You played something where you were chopping down trees. What was the name of it? I watched the whole video, and now I can't tell you the name of it. But you were chopping down trees. It looked like fun.
Timber. Yeah, timber. Yeah, Valley Midway game. And I know a couple of times in the video I almost called it Logger, and that's it. Mike mentioned Logger in the comments of it, and I told him I caught myself a couple times. I was saying Logger, and there he is.
There he is, the man, the myth, the legend.
If you guys talk about Logger, I'll come back on.
I need help with the Twitch. I'm going insane here. That really...
hand it down to Mike. He'll get it for you.
Yeah, just hand it right down to Mike. He can get it.
That's far.
That'd be so cool.
That's the one that's down below you.
I give up. I guess I'll take it to Travis. He's upstairs and let him fix it. Let my son fix it. He'll fix it. I say, fix this for your daddy.
Chaos thought Mike was quitting the group because he wasn't here, and then he wasn't here last week. I told Mike earlier he needs to show up because I can't be up by myself with these two chuckleheads, which I can't even point to.
Well, a lot of places today's environment, they don't like when three bald white guys get together too often. So once a week for a meeting isn't good.
Yeah. We can get kicked out of YouTube for that. Livewire's in the house. Good to see you, Livewire.
Hey, Livewire.
Hey, Livewire.
Livewire, you're near Chicago. I heard something about the mayor having a nervous breakdown in Chicago.
The mayor did?
I didn't hear anything.
Yeah.
Well, I'm sorry. Chicago. I mean, I've been there 3 times, I think, in my life. The first time I thought it was cool and unique. The second time it was okay. The third time I was extremely annoyed. I don't know. I just drive around it,
Yeah, I have family from there. I've been there a few times myself.
I know it is kind of funny though when you're approaching it, like especially on a motorcycle and you're coming. We kind of tended to go in on roads that weren't like the interstate, but like, and I didn't realize how flat Illinois is. I guess it's these. I read something about the Ice Age. That's where everything flattened out or something. But, it is odd when you approach Chicago. Kansas City's got a skyline. But it is weird to just come and you're looking around and there's nothing. nothing. And then all of a sudden you see this big glob of skyline pop up. It actually looks pretty cool from a distance because it's a pretty big skyline with nothing around it.
I think it was more of an anxiety attack, maybe it was more than a nervous breakdown, but they kind of go hand in hand, I think.
Yeah.
That's what he would. But yeah, I remember going back in '87 to watch my brother graduate from Great Lakes Navy. And I remember pulling into downtown Chicago where my uncle lived. We were going to stay with them. And the first thing we were met with when we pulled in was some woman parked and some guy was yelling to her, ma'am, something about her car. And then he's like, lady. And she keeps walking. And he's like, F you, you effing bitch. And I'm just like, whoa, welcome to Chicago, you know?
Wow.
You know what's funny about that? I got when I went through boot camp there. I remember going to Chicago. So when we got leave to go out there, they were telling us, "Hey, be sure to wear your carry your money in your sock and not in your wallet, because you're liable to get mugged. And if you get mugged, just go along with it." Like, what? So, but they encourage us to go more than just by ourselves. That way, it's not like an easy target to gang up on a bunch of sailors, I guess. But yeah, I remember tucking my money in the sock and going out there.
No, nobody would say. My uncle moved there in the late '60s, and he just passed away a year and a half ago. He was a pastor in downtown Chicago, and he was mugged probably at least 10 times in the years that he lived there. A pastor, was held up.
Right.
But he loved Chicago. He stayed there the whole time.
Wow. Way to go, Poe. You jump in there talking about, before I could make my joke, and you're talking about your uncle who was a pastor and he passed away. I was going to say something about tucking my money in my sock, but then where would I tuck my wiener when I go out? Now it just doesn't seem appropriate to make such a comment. But
my uncle would laugh at that joke, though.
Mike went to boot camp there, and you went to see your uncle graduate there, and I went to see my son graduate there. Man, we have so much in common. That is just crazy.
Well, actually, our son Travis, when he went in the Navy, Micah. Travis was Army. Micah, when he was in the Navy, that's where he went to basic, was at that Great Lakes. Is that what they call it? The Great Lakes Training Center or something? I know it was in Chicago. Just north of Chicago. It's in the north end of Chicago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
That was a neat. I kind of like that facility. Yeah.
That's the one my father went through too, up there, Great Lakes. I believe both my nephews as well.
Or as some people say, the great mistakes.
Great mistakes.
Yeah.
See, the Navy guys know.
No offense to that place, yeah, but oh man, it got so cold there. I don't know if you went there during when you spit, it actually turns into an icicle, and then your eyeballs feel like it was like freezing up. So I remember having to wear those earmuffs too. It's like I couldn't feel my ears, and then walking through that blistering cold, and then it's not just bad enough that it's cold. It was really windy. I remember trying to walk against the wind. I'm like, where am I? It's like, I'd rather go back. I complained about Washington State always raining all the time, but it's like, man, how do people survive here? But I guess they do.
See, I had the opposite, of course, because I did my Navy boot camp in Orlando, Florida in the summer. And I went there from Arizona, where the humidity was in single digits when I went out, and I get off the plane. I feel like I'm going to drown just trying to breathe that hot, humid air in Florida. So I didn't experience the cold at boot camp. I'd experienced the hot. But they shut all that down now. Great Lakes is the only boot camp for the Navy now. So
yeah, well, it used to have San Diego, because when I was still in San Diego, you can go not San Diego, but somewhere in California, you can still go to boot camp, and then of course Great Lakes. So there were still the two places open, and I know when I graduated, they just closed that boot camp down. So, and that was
when Jason went through when Jason went through, Great Lakes was the only boot camp. And his company commander, his recruit company commander, was a chick, because they had a mixed company. It's like What's that all about? A boot camp mixed company? That's crazy. But,
sounds pretty.
Yeah,
fun.
usually they segregated the girls. I know they were like upstairs from us, so our sister division, I guess we used to call them. But I know, like for our RDCs, they used to call them recruit division commanders. Yeah, and they were there was one woman in our thing. But yeah, I remember them being upstairs, but we weren't segregated. I mean, when we go march to the galley, yeah, the sister division was next to us, but that's the only time I've ever seen the ladies was when we're marching.
Yeah.
But never integrated.
When I went
that's interesting.
Yeah, when I went through back in the 1800s, when Orlando was still open, that's where all the females went, was to Orlando. And it was like you said, we'd see them sometime at the galley line, but that was about the only time you ever saw the females. But yeah, it's a lot different now. It's a lot different.
They don't shower together, do they?
I don't know. You know, I had a female company commander, the real ones, not the recruit, whatever, but and we were her first company that she ever did. And it was funny because she would stick her head in when she was coming in the morning. She'd holler out, she said, "I'll be back in 15 minutes. I don't want to see any nuts or butts." We all knew we had to get dressed because she'd be coming into the room. But yeah, and it was kind of cool because at the end, you know, when you're getting ready, you graduated, all that, and then we had like a picnic day or something where we were all sitting around, and I was just hanging out at a picnic table, and she came over and sat down next to me, and she actually asked me, she's like, "You know, this is my first company ever, right?" And I said, "Yeah." And she goes, "How'd I do?" I'm like, "I thought you did a good job. I thought the nuts and butts stuff was pretty funny." So, but
you know, that's funny you mentioned that. You know, like when you're standing in line, right? You're waiting to go through the galley to get your food. So I remember that they said nut to butt, everybody, and I'm like,
yeah,
I'm
nuts to butts.
go close. Yeah, I'm like, I'm not gonna go close to another dude that close. And then I remember being shoved by the RDCs, and they literally shoved because everybody didn't want to go touch somebody else from the rear. I need my personal space. But they just thought that was funny. They would just push all of us together and like, oh man, I don't know about this place. They're making us do nut to butt here.
I had a similar. We went to Kelly and I went to New York City for the New Year's Eve, and we went down to watch the ball drop, and they estimated there were 2 million people there the year we went, and I say we were about 1 million people back. But we could see the ball. And when they started packing in, there was a chick that was kind of next to me behind Kelly where she was standing from Wisconsin. So I kept calling her Wisconsin. I'm like, "Hey, Wisconsin, just real quick, the person behind me, is that a dude or a chick?" And she's like, "Sorry, it's a dude." I said, "Man, I think in some states we'd be married right now. We're so close." I think he's violated me like 6 times already. But yeah, now I gotta address this now too, because Mike's Gaming Gala said I was on the USS Maine.
Oh, cool.
I don't know if there's a joke there, but now I got to tell my big C story of the one time in my whole Navy career that I ever stepped foot on a ship was down in Puerto Rico, and there was a Dutch frigate. Mike, I'm sure I told you this story. There was a Dutch frigate down there, docked, and my instructor, we went down. I was a student. We went down there, 4 students in one. He said we went over there and we got a tour of the boat, and we went on board. They said, "Sure, come on." So we went on board the ship and we went down the first ladder well, and right there was the Chief's Lounge. The E7s and above had a lounge right there with Heineken on tap right on the ship. And we walked in there, and the guy behind the bar said, "Free beer for the Americans." And that ended our tour. We stayed in there drinking beer and talking to these Dutch sailors for a couple hours, and then just kind of went back to the barracks. But that's the only time in my Navy career I ever set foot on a ship.
That's wild.
So yeah, that's a brilliant way to go through the Navy. drink a bunch of free Heineken.
Yeah, you were the Navy guy that was on an airplane, and I was the Air Force guy that stayed on the ground.
Yeah.
Right.
I was the other Navy guy on the ground too. I never been on a ship.
Oh, yeah. Now Mike's gaming gal is calling me out because I didn't catch the historical reference. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. It probably. I tell a lot of people I joined the Navy back. We still had wooden ships, but
in sales.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hoist the sail. Well, hey,
I read the wrong one, but no polo. I wasn't an E7. It was just they let us in there because we were Americans touring. I was in school. I think at that point I was either still at E2 or I just turned E3. I think I was at E3. I think I was an airman at that time. Yeah, but they let us in because we were Americans. But anyway, what were you going to say, Greg?
I was just going to say, wondering, we started this out talking about our retro challenge, and I've enjoyed this. I was wondering, anybody ready to move to retro challenge for this week?
Oh, okay.
Sure.
All right.
Sure.
Here we
Sounds
go.
good. Sounds good.
There's a little retro challenge for this week, January 21, 2024. Hey, everybody, it's January 21st, 2024, and welcome to the Retro Arcade Challenge put on by the show. That includes myself, G. Parker's Arcade, Off Grid Arcade, Mr. Postile, the Gaming Road Warrior, aka Mike, the Gaming Road Warrior. 6 p.m. Central on Sunday nights we do the show, and we started announcing retro arcade games that we're going to play and kind of have little mini tournaments. There's no prize, no trophies, no nothing. Look in our Discord. Go to our Discord. You'll see a place in our Discord that says Retro Attorneys. And that's where people can post their score. You can take a picture of your score and put it in there. Some people are shooting a video. Last week we played This is Pac-Man. And Retro Bliss actually was the first one to get it started after we announced it by shooting a video. He was in first place for quite a while there, had a great score until Old Off Grid came on and knocked him off. But I don't even know right now is the time of shooting this video who the winner is, because you have unlimited tries and you got all week to do it. We just ask that you post your score. It ends the 28th next Sunday, but the show starts at 6 p.m. So sometime mid-afternoon, try to have your score posted on the Discord or somehow get that information to us so we can announce it on the show. Because we obviously can't do it while we're starting the show. So, and we haven't worked out all the glitches in this yet, but we just want to have some fun. This week's game is Frogger. I put a coin in. Again, I'm playing on my vertical version of Raspberry Pi. That's why you're seeing it like this, because I'm in the office, and that's what I had set up on my vertical screen in here. Sometimes you'll see I'll be playing on my Pi in the arcade room where I play the horizontal version, but that's why it looks this way this time. It's a lot of fun, and let's see if I can do any good at Frogger. I always like getting that far left slot filled, because that one's a booger. No, I filled that hard spot and then I did that. Completely jumped off the screen. Okay, got two. Okay, to me, these end ones are the hard ones. Got it. Oh no. Oh no! Oh no! Oh no! $2,200. Well, I'm getting a little better. 2,200. Okay, I'm gonna give it one more shot on this video. Okay. Why was it not getting my coin? No! Oh, come on. My last live. Now we got Mr. Speed Racer up there. Boy, they're coming fast now. Come on, baby. Oh, wow. No, 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 no. Okay, 33-20. I'm going to live with that one right now. Second place on my leaderboard right here, 33-20. High score I had on here was 46-30. Now, that's just whoever's been playing this in the past on this particular version of RetroPie. So, but anyway, there's my score, 33-20. Again, jump in, and I'll be jumping in. This gives you something to shoot for. And I'll be jumping in throughout the week and trying to get a better score. But here you go. It's our weekly retro arcade game challenge. So have fun with it. And thanks for watching. See y'all later, everybody. And watch the show. 6 p.m. Central, Sundays. There you go.
All right. All right.
And Chaos just threw up a Frogger challenge tonight just by chance. What are the chances of that?
Yeah, because I filmed that like Tuesday this week to get ready for this week's show. And then these guys told me Chaos put one up, so I thought that was kind of... That's chaos.
Yeah.
That's chaotic.
That is chaotic. Yeah, that's cool. But hey, I did have an idea the other day, because you mentioned in there about the keeping of scores and all that, and of course we've kept it pretty casual and all. But I thought one thing we could do, because some people have you hold a keyword or the date or something like that. And I thought, what if you just make sure when you play and you want to take a picture of your screen, just make sure the score you want is in the one up side and not the top score. Because then we know you just played it. It's not something that you played 6 months ago and you had an awesome game and you're just like, look, there's my best score. That's my score I'm submitting. But the 1-up score, you got 1,000 points, and the other one has 50,000. You're like, yeah, that's me. That could be a way if we wanted to get more serious about it. Just say, snap the picture while your score is still on the 1-up side. Then we know you just played that.
Right.
So
it's a good idea.
Anyway, it was just a thought I had, but like I said, right now we're not even keeping it that serious. So a couple people, I think the guy that did the best on the Ms. Pac-Man, he just posted his score, just the number. So he didn't even put a picture. So, but
it's fun, but it also gives us all something to do kind of together. I mean, you can know that week that there's some other guys out there playing Frogger. There's other guys playing Ms. Pac-Man or whatever we pick each week, and kind of post their scores and talk. And it gives us something to talk about. And one of the things I know that when I did that video that night, I was sitting looking through YouTube, and I just happened to put in the search, and you guys need to do this, search for Seinfeld Frogger episode.
I've seen
it. Yeah, and it was just kind of interesting, George gets in there and finds out his initials are on the Frogger machine at the small town in the small store in New York where he'd gone 20 years ago, and he got the high score, and his initials were still there. And he managed to buy the Frogger machine from the guy and was going to move it. And then somebody told him if he unplugged it and plugged it back in, his score would go away, which I don't know if that's true or not. But so he was trying to figure out a way to use extension cords, and it just was typical George Costanza screwed up mess. But anyway, it's kind of fun.
Yeah. Now Polo says in here he misses playing Pinball FX or Pinball FX3 and Pinball. We had a tournament this week. Greg started what did we play? We played Monster Bash.
Yeah.
He had a Monster Bash tournament this week also. We are still playing some pinball.
G-Cage run that with something like 2 billion points.
Yeah.
They did it. And I think Livewire, I don't know. I'll look here in a minute, but I wanted to tell you something else about pinball real quick, just for giggles. And I know it's not everybody can do it, but I did set up on the Switch, which you cannot cross-platform on the Switch, on Pinball FX. I did, just for giggles, set up a pinball tournament today on there. So if you want this information, get ready to jot it down, or somebody put it in the chat for me. It's LH91. That's the tournament you're looking for. LH91 pinball on the Nintendo Switch on Pinball FX, and the game is Deep Space Nine, Star Trek Deep Space Nine. 5 days. G Parker's the password, as always. GPARKER lowercase. So, yeah, I see Off Grid put it up there. LH91 Switch Pinball FX3. So, with that being said, let me go over to. And I got a question while I get ready to set this up. Is you can't set up tournaments on Pinball M yet, can you? On the Switch, right? I couldn't figure. I was going to do that just.
I don't know. I didn't try yet. Now that was Pinball FX, right? Not Pinball FX3, because it's got the code.
That is correct. It's Pinball FX. That's why it has that weird number to find it.
LH91.
Yeah. I tried to set up a tournament on Pinball M, and it showed tournaments. It lit up, but it didn't show. I couldn't see a button to set one up.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't remember offhand. But yeah, if I'd have known you'd have done that, we could have set one up for the same table on Steam and had two going at once, and see if we can do that where we blend the two and get scores from both in case we decide to do a Pinball FX tournament someday and say, well, if you have a Switch, you can still play in our tournaments. We'll just blend it in.
Let's strive to do that next week. I'll tell you what, that'll give us a goal to do. You and I'll get together during the week You can set one up on Steam. I'll set one up on the. Maybe we can do a collaborative video on that if you want. If you get time.
Sounds good. Sounds good.
Now I got a question. Is somebody wanting to do another? I've got the Switch in my hand. I don't have it hooked up to the TV to broadcast it because I can't get the Switch out of the. The Switch out. Stupid.
Yeah. Before we do that, Polo said he couldn't find your tournament. Polo, what do you play FX3 on? I'm curious because Greg made the tournament on the Switch last week, and we know the Switch can play. Steam people can find it, but I don't know. I'm curious if you couldn't find it. I'm wondering what system you're playing on and if that was the issue. But Polo, if you're still here, let us know what system you were looking for Greg's Monster Bash FX3 last week.
And if that's the case.
Okay, so you were playing on Steam. You should have been able to find. You probably had to go. Did you look in the filters where you go by name and put in the G Parker and then tell it to apply that? Because you might have had to search for it that way in the filters. Oh, look. Hey, Brooklyn Menace is here.
Brooklyn Menace. Well, while he's looking, you guys discuss that, or he gives you an answer. I'll just read the results of the tournament for the Monster Bash. It was G Gauge with 2 billion. Then rather than read the scores, I'll just give you the list of the winners. Second place, Mr. Livewire. Hostile, phenomenal. Third place win, 120 million. Mike CB was.
You'll never see that again.
Mike CB, 72 million. I mean, he just wiped that seaweed guy right out of the. And then this off-grid guy.
But that's the only one I feel bad about because Mike's my friend. Everybody else. Oh, sorry. I love you, Bart. Those are the only ones I feel bad about.
But off-grid was next, followed by Pixeltorium, followed by Fun Fiction, followed by G Parker, and you can always count on Arcade Chaos to bring up the end. Somebody has to be last. And it might as well be chaos.
It's always chaos.
It's all about consistency. It's all about consistency. That's what those guys at NASCAR say. It's all about consistency. You don't have to win every week. And chaos is consistent at the bottom every week.
But he's busy out there finding us the good games on the Switch. So he's a one and done kind of guy, and then he moves on to find us the deals.
Derek, this is a good theory. But when Poe asked his wife to play, she went to the ping pong table because she thought he was playing in a ping pong tournament. There's a joke behind that. But Kelly said she thought she was last. Was Kelly score not on there?
On the Monster Bash?
Is Greg awake?
Yeah. I was looking at that. Wait, you want me to check the tournament? Kelly was on. I didn't see Kelly on there. Let me look.
I promised her and Chaos we would play Creature this week. Remember? I promised them that last week. Since I have no control, I guess if we don't play Creature, that's all Greg's fault. Sorry, guys.
Now, if you're talking about Monster Bash from last week, I do not have a score for Kelly on here. I'm looking right at the screen. So if Kelly has a score that would have been on there, I don't know what happened to it because it is not there.
Oh wait, now she's saying she got 2.87 billion. Wait, if you're not seeing it, then she got she's just above G Gauge. She said she's changing her answer.
Oh, okay. Well, sorry.
Hey, didn't
something
like that happen with the Stranger Things scores?
Yeah.
All of a sudden disappearing.
Yeah, somehow Kelly's score disappears from things from Greg's events. Yeah, that's.
Well, does anybody want to do? I'll have to set it up on the Switch, but I'm telling you, you have to look for. Bart's right. You have to go to that thing that says your filter, and you have to search by name, and you have to say G Parker, and then hit. And then even though you put that in, you still got to go back and hit. What's that thing you got to hit? Accept or something. There's something.
Yeah, or apply or something like that. Yeah, you have to tell it. You type it in, then you have to say use the filter, whatever that is. I think it says apply, but I'm not for sure. And yeah, then you should be able to find it.
But yeah. Anyway, so if anybody wants to do one again, I'm going to set it up on the Switch if I'm setting it up in here. And I'll work on next week getting one set up in the arcade room on the Steam. But if anybody wants to do that again, it looks like we had some participation. I'll be happy to set one up. If you throw me out some names and some games, and I'll set one up, guys. Anybody?
We talked about it last week that we would do Creature since we did Monster Bash.
That's
Creature!
You already set up the other one.
Sorry, had to make the announcement.
Creature, 5 days, private tournament.
No, Derek. That's a no.
Now, I'll tell you what. I wonder if the password's going to be G Parker. It's running. It's running. So
go on, Derek. Get the hell out of here and play.
Yeah, like you always do. Leave the show to go play pinball.
And tell Off-Grid he's next, like you always do.
Yeah. Don't forget, it should be MLP that you should be playing on.
That's right.
now,
Yeah, it says as long as it's not Fishtails or Tesla, he's good.
I think it's time. I think it's time though, because I'm going to have to get pretty soon. I'll tell you what. I think it's time now. You know, we've been talking about a lot of stuff, gaming related, some personal related, but having a good time. Got a good group of people in the chat. So we started. It's been a lot of Arctic air has moved through the U.S. right now, and it's even affected Texas, who he's bragging about 60 degrees right now, and he's in short sleeves. But everybody's gotten cold, and I don't know if everybody's good with it. I've got a little weather forecast brought to you by a good friend of ours. I'm going to move right into that weather forecast. Here we go.
Time for the weather report, and I'm your weatherman, Old Poe. Let me tell you, cold snap across the nation. As Mike Seaweed can tell you, snow there, right? And even Off-Grid can tell you, snow flurries down south of Old El Paso. Pass, the Old El Paso. That's what he said. Yeah, a little bit of chilliness going on down there. And G. Parker can tell you, snow, and cold where he's at from Missouri. From Missouri, right here in western Pennsylvania, we had snow too on Friday, right? 3 inches. That's all she's getting from me. And they're acting like it's the blizzard of 93 that Pennsylvania had, or the blizzard of 78. You know why? Because I went to the store today, and I'm looking for my Milwaukee's best 15 count. And they didn't have the Milwaukee's best ice. So what's my other go-to if you don't have Milwaukee's best ice? The Nat Daddy, right? Natural ice, 15 count again, nice cheap beer, and it gets done what it needs to do. They didn't even have that. What did I have to sell for? Genesee ice, 12 count. That ain't even gonna last me 2 hours here. What the hell is this crap? Oh, there was 3 inches yesterday. Beer trucks can't get through, I guess. Oh, and there's not even anything on the roads today because the plows and the salt trucks, whoopity-doo, actually did their job. Oh, we can't get through. There might be some snow. No ice beer for you, Poe. Oh, sorry about your friggin' luck. That's that weather's all about these days. Everybody's a snowflake. They can't go out in the snowflakes. Well, let me tell you something. I can go on Amazon.com right now and order Hello Kitty low voltage nipple clamps, and they can be resting on my nipples first thing tomorrow morning. They'll be here immediately. But I can't go to my local store and get Milwaukee's Best Ice right now because they were 3 inches on the road yesterday and not today. Come on, let's get it together. This economy is ridiculous, Mr. President. If that is your real title, let's get the beer to the stores so I can get it in my belly. And I don't have to settle for Genesee more expensive 12 count than I have to pay for a 15 count of my Milwaukee's Best. Milwaukee, Wisconsin, are you listening to me? There's only 3 things that I want out of you, Wisconsin. And what is that? I want cheese, Wisconsin. I want all the beautiful cheese you have. Smoked Gouda cheese. I want the big round cheese like you used to see on Tom and Jerry that would chase them down the hill and they'd run for their little furry lives. And you know what the 3rd thing is that I want from you, Wisconsin? Milwaukee. Wait, did I do that? That was only one thing. The 2nd thing is Milwaukee's Best. That should be the 1st thing. Your iced beer is oh so delicious, and I want that from you. And finally, the biggest thing I want from you is I want to fight. Milwaukee, Wisconsin. I want the fight of all fights that I've wanted since the 70s. I want the Fonz versus Lou Ferrigno's Hulk. Fonzie versus the Hulk. You can do it. If anybody can do it, I know you. Not that Hulk. You know what I'm talking about. You know that Henry Winkler's still alive and kicking in with us, and so is Lou Ferrigno. You can use that computer technology stuff, that TGIF stuff, like you did with the Harrison Ford guy in that last Indiana Jones movie in the Temple of Old Guys, or whatever the heck they call it. It was on the Disney Plus there. I don't get that channel neither. I put the rabbit ears up with the foil and I can't get a know-how. But anyway, I heard about it and they used that TGIF stuff to make them look young. Do what you gotta do, Milwaukee, Wisconsin, because I want to see Fonzie duking it out with the Hulk. Which side are you gonna take? That's craziness there. Why would they fight to begin with? They're both good guys. Just blows your mind. Blows your mind. Why would they even begin to think about fighting? But it happens to the best of superheroes. Maybe something really strange happened there and they have to fight for some reason. Look what happened to the Iron Man and the Captain USA that time. Something happened and all of a sudden they had a revolutionary war and they had to fight. And you better choose your side. But anyway, I want my beer. And that's the weather. So back to you.
I think he forgot the forecast for the week, but
Yeah. Talk about everything except their weather. That's all right.
I like the fact that Fonzie's going to fight the Hulk and not Hulk Hogan, but Lou Ferrigno. That'd be a good fight.
Yeah.
While you were doing that, I did get that tournament up and running. So it does not look like Derek's there yet, but I managed to get 39,152,000. So there's what to shoot for. And I'll try to do better on setting those up. But, you know, the big tournament's over. We're just kind of flowing with it. I think the 2 things we're going to try to do is, I think Bart and I will try to get one going on the Switch and on the Steam at the same time. But I really like these. I'm kind of really getting into these retro challenge things, and I like Bart's idea. Just get that picture, that 1-up score right there, and just plaque it with your phone and throw it up on the Discord.
Yeah. Oh, I just saw Derek's playing pinball now.
Oh, okay.
He had enough. He saw the weather report and said he better go play.
Did you, I know that you set up some stuff on here too. Did you have something you wanted to share too, Bart, or is it not a good time? Or I'm looking at our board over here. I don't even realize, is that the W39 Bart?
Yeah. Yeah, that's just that little video that I threw together when Kelly and I went to an arcade in Phoenix when I was visiting my mom. I mean, it's nothing special. It's just a little, showed some pinball tables and stuff like that. But I did want to say, though, real quick, before we get off the old Poe weather report, because you said there at the, how he never did really get to the weather forecast. When I lived in Arizona, I used to watch the Good Morning Arizona show on Channel 3. And in the summertime in Phoenix, there's not a whole lot to talk about until the monsoons roll in. And the weather guy, they'd cut to the weather guy, and he'd be at like some thing where they're adopting puppies or something. So he's showing all these puppies. And at the very end, he'd go, "Oh, yeah, and the weather, it's going to be hot and sunny. Back to you." It's Phoenix. It's going to be hot and sunny. Now let's move on. So he'd do a whole weather segment, and that was the weather. Hot and sunny. But
my story on weather person, not weatherman, because it's a weather lady here in town. I remember when Travis was young. Well, actually, yeah, it was Travis and Michael were both young. Cheryl went too. I remember that. And we went to with the Cub Scouts. They wanted chaperones to go along because they were going down to the local TV station, to visit to see what a TV station looks like. And we ended up in the weather woman's room, which was her office and her little studio where she had her green screen, did all her weather. And I couldn't help it. I just had to be that guy. She's talking about how she gets her weather information. And I asked her, I said, "Where's your windows?" And she goes, "Well, I don't need windows. I get it all off this computer." And I said, "That explains it." And she goes, "What?" And I said, "The other day you were saying how sunny it was and it was pouring down rain. Maybe if you just looked out the window, you'd know what's wrong better than those computers." And and they wanted my ass out of there. It's like, "Oh, it turns over and you put motherfuckers out, out."
That's funny.
What good's the weather without windows in a room? Gee, Christmas.
I was a little worried you were headed towards asking her about her own temperature sensor indicators that she brings with her.
No, but old Mo did talk about getting some Hello Kitty nipple clamps or something in his little video just there. So.
Right. Yeah, you should have asked that weather lady about that. It probably would have went over just as well as your joke about the winters.
But he did hit the nail on the head. It is funny. You got a government agency that's been around for years. And I ordered something the other day on Amazon that it said it would come overnight. So I thought, no charge. So I thought I didn't need it overnight, but I ordered it overnight. And it was one of those days that it was really bad here, super cold. And I'll tell you what, that package was on my porch at 7 a.m.
Wow.
It's just amazing.
Yeah, the porn distribution hubs are way faster now than they used to be.
Oh, man.
When you put in an order the size of yours, they don't mess around.
That's right. When you order that many products, it's time to get on the road. Before I got to go, the Chiefs went to halftime, and I think they might be ahead by 3. I've been glancing at it, but can we take a look? I'd like to see your video before I go. Bart, is that good?
Oh, sure. Yeah. It's just a really quick little tour and then a little bit of gameplay on one of the games that I played while I was there. So
yeah. Then I can see the time on it. Matter of fact, wait a second. Oh, that's weird. It's longer than Poe's was. That is unusual.
Yeah.
All right. So we are here at Ready Player One in Phoenix, Glendale, Arizona, actually. The guy basically fired all this up for us. We just played Star Wars. That's why it's making so much racket. Mandalorian. This Avengers table's down. We'll come over here. Didn't play that yet. He fired all this up when we got here. NBA Jam. Sunset Riders. Yeah. Poe, I'll play that in your honor. And these are like multicades over here. It's got bowling and millipede, centipede, missile command. This one here, I played Super Mario Brothers on it, set the high score. I'll show that, but Double Dragon, Tetris makes a lot of noise. Michael Jackson Moonwalkers, these ones are not on. And then over here, got a lot of collectibles and stuff. This is a comic book store too. Kelly's looking at Venom. I'm going to play me some Spider-Man. This is the Iron Man table. Deadpool, Avengers, Guardians of the Galaxy. Most of them are 75 cents a play, which isn't bad. A couple of them say they're $1. What were you saying? Oh, yeah, looks like these ones down here. And then all kind of Star Wars stuff up here. So, yeah, pretty cool. But yeah, he fired all this up when we got here. So that's really neat. And now I'll cut to my some of my Mario Brothers. Oh, look at Ahsoka. Yeah, check that out. I powered them both. Close though.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, stinking fireball already. Maybe have it, huh?
Maybe.
I should have went the other way. Especially since I missed it. Oh my god. Right into it. This is complete havoc. I don't think I've ever made it this far.
Hit the POW. Oh no.
Okay, everyone needs to get out of the way, including the fireball.
Jeez.
Oh, now the other fireball's coming. There it is. Yeah. How about that last? I got to that last screen and I got 0 points.
Man, once you get stuck on top like that, it's hard as hell to get down there and get anything done.
Yeah. And the other thing I noticed right there at the end, that was in Phoenix or Glendale technically, but in Phoenix, and I was wearing my hoodie then, and here I am not after this cold week. Now I'm in short sleeve. But yeah, that was pretty crazy. That game, Kelly had recorded that whole game. It was a 10-minute video, but I just wanted to put the end there that I got the high score. But in that other game, man, that was loud as crap whenever that one was playing.
Sonic,
some Sonic going loud as hell. Yeah,
yeah, just nuts. And,
but it looked like you had fun. I mean, did they have quite a few games in the place, or?
Yeah, I think there's another part of the arcade that is only open on the weekends, because it said on the door when you came in, it said full arcade open Saturday and Sunday from certain hours or something, or Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And so I went in and asked him, I'm like, so is the arcade not open? He goes, no, I can. So all of that stuff was shut off when we got there. And he went and turned on all of those machines so that we could play. And yeah, so that was pretty cool. And that Star Wars table we played right before I started the video. That's why it was still making so much noise. And that's the only pinball machine that we played that whole day that Kelly didn't beat me at. I beat her on that one. And then every other game we played, she won. I'm like, I'm going home. I'm done. I'm leaving. I'm going. But and I did play the what is it, Sunset Riders?
cool.
I did play that because
love that.
Yeah, Poe has told me before he likes playing that game, so I said, well, I got to play that. I didn't record any of it though because Kelly was playing. We played 2 players, so
yeah, that's the way to play that.
Yeah, so it was a neat little arcade. It was about 2 or 3 miles away from my mom's house, so we just ran over there and burned through like $10 worth of quarters. No, probably $20 because we were both playing, and most of those pinball tables were 75 cents to $1. So, yeah, Kelly liked the Venom game because she kicked my ass at it. That's why she liked it. I did play the Spider-Man. I played the Spider-Man table that I said in the video I'm going to play it, and I didn't even notice before I put my money. The DMD didn't work, so it's like I don't know how good I did. I don't do good anyway, so it's just for the hell of it, playing for fun. But I have no idea what the scores were or anything it was telling me to do on there. I couldn't see the DMD. So yeah, but it's a comic book store by trade, and then they had all those collectibles. There's that Ahsoka that I zoomed in on. That thing was probably a good, at least a foot tall. And next to it, there was a Darth Vader statue that was like 2 feet tall. Just really neat stuff. I didn't even want to look at the price because I'm sure it was way more money than I would want to spend. But he had a lot of Star Wars collectibles and a ton of comic books. But yeah, so it was a good time.
Well, I'm going to say, Sean and I have been playing a lot of more pinball down here because of the cold weather, not getting out as much. And so we've been having a ball with that. So it's one nice thing about having gaming. If you live, especially where I live, if you don't like the weather, just wait 5 minutes. It'll change. But when you get a bad spell of it, we've got definitely lots to do. And I've been doing a lot of different stuff. I want to say for me, I'm going to have to go. I'm going to try to do better on, we'll get another retro game ready for next week. Let us know how you do on Frogger this week. And we'll come up with maybe some new and creative ways to do a weekly pinball thing instead of a long-term one. So with that being said, I'm going to step on out and hand it over to these guys in capable hands because my Kansas City Chiefs are down by 4. They're at halftime, and I think I need to get up and get my Chiefs shirt on and give them a little rah, 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 and make sure this isn't the last game of the season for them. So have a good one, everybody. Thanks for everybody for being here, and I'm going to step out. Take care, everyone.
All right, Greg. Later, Greg.
Bye, Greg.
Bye, Mike. Bye, Poe. Bye, Bart.
I thought he was kidding, Poe, when he said earlier, if that seaweed guy shows up, I'm going to leave early. I'll make up any excuse I can. I thought he was just kidding. Man, he is a dick.
Now, he said Chief shirt, but what he means is he's going to rip off his shirt and he's painted, right? You got the colors, nipples painted different colors, and
and he already has the Hello Kitty nipple clamps on. And Chiefs colors. That's what it is. Yeah. Wow. So, Mike, what do you got going on? We talked about what we had going on while you weren't here. So, what have you had going on this week? Anything exciting?
Actually, I did play those games you guys played. Remember Elevator Action? I did tape it, but I just never had the time. I was so busy working on the Chrono Trigger video that I didn't have time to edit it and then post it. So I still have that. And then what was that other game I played? I got to try out Robotron. So I got to play that. I haven't played that in a while. That's a fun game.
Yeah.
And then Miss Pac-Man. So I played that just to kind of practice on it, see if it worked on my 1943 cabinet worked. And I just haven't gotten around to shooting a video with it. So yeah, I need to do that because it's like, well, it's just trying to see if I can get used to it because I play the fast one and I'm not used to the normal one. So the normal speed one, it's like, because it's like I'm trying to anticipate quickly where to go on the map, and it just feels weird. It's like, I gotta just kind of slow it down a little bit because it's like, why are you moving so fast?
Just play the fast version and then slow down the video and editing. No one will know. Your commentary will be, oh shit.
Yeah, it was kind of funny. After I got done playing that, I went and played some because I have it here on my PC. I played some Atari 2600 Pac-Man, and I did pretty good on that one. So it's like, I'll fire up that, and it's like, I did pretty good on regular Pac-Man on the Atari. So yeah, fun. That's what I've been up to. I was just playing these different games and stuff, and then it was kind of funny. Like I just remembered Pac-Man. Like, do I still like this? And sure enough, I did enjoy myself playing it. It wasn't as bad as I remembered it as a kid. So I got a smile out of it. Like, this isn't as bad as I thought it was back in the day. So yeah.
Well, if you record a video of that Pac-Man on the 2600, make sure you email a copy to retroblissgaming@gmail.com.
Well, it did take 3 Coors Lights for me to really appreciate it, but having some alcohol,
beer goggles helps.
Yeah, it helps. Yeah, definitely. I was ready to go buy an Atari Pac-Man on eBay after that.
Yeah. Speaking of Retro Bliss, though, I got all excited because I saw he did a video the other day where he was doing like a challenge video, and Kangaroo was one of the games. I'm like, cool. And then I realized they're Atari versions. He's not doing like the arcade version. So I don't have any Atari emulators or anything. So I guess I won't play his Kangaroo tournament. But he did play our Ms. Pac-Man tournament. So, well,
nice.
So you shot a video of Ms. Pac-Man, or you didn't shoot her, or are you going to?
No,
or
I fired it. Yeah, I want to. I'm probably going to do it tonight when my son gets done with his youth group. I'll go pick him up, and then later tonight we'll tape it because I just wanted to see if I can still play it. Slow down. It's like, are you sure you can play it? Because you're used to playing the fast Miss Pac-Man. I said, yeah, I want to just see. Otherwise, I'm just going to be messing up on the game. And it's like, okay, I can still play this. So, yeah, I'm definitely going to record it.
Yeah, you can still get it out there because that goober smooch Derek never did tally the scores up like he was supposed to. So, technically, I'm guessing the tournament's still going. If he didn't set up the Discord, I'd kick him off the Discord. If he couldn't ban me from it, I'd kick his ass off. He's not even in the chat anymore because he's still trying to beat Greg's score on whatever pinball we're playing. I don't even know.
Yeah, I lost track. I think Greg picked a FX Switch game that I don't even have. So.
Oh, was it
I
Star Trek? Star Trek Deep
Yeah,
Space?
Yeah, but
Star
I think I bought that on the PS5, not on the Switch.
Oh, okay.
Shoot, I summoned the beast. Dang it, he's back.
Try what, Derek?
try kicking him off. The whole Atari ROM set is probably less than a meg. You could email it to me.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. But yeah, I didn't know. I don't have a whole lot of experience with Atari 2600. My next door neighbor had one when I was growing up, but didn't play it a whole lot. So I didn't get much chance to play the Atari. But anyway. Yeah.
Oh, tons of ways to play it now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's true. I'm just waiting for you to go. Next time you go to steal stuff out of Mike's house, I'm going to go raid your house because you got 47 different ways to play it all at your house.
I do. So my new tagline is "Have you paid Atari today?" Because I have 15 different ways.
I'm just gonna show up at your house one day, and when we're talking, and your wife is standing there, I'm gonna just be like, "Hey, Poe, so did you order those 3 new Atari sets that you said?" And while she's kicking your ass, I'm gonna go grab one of yours and run. Yeah.
It's funny because
2600 catalog on floppy disk.
Yep.
I was going through. The Drunk Gamer was on today playing one of the Dukes of Hazzard games for the PS2.
Oh.
And I was, so I was watching him do that, and then I went through some of his old videos, or not older. It was fairly recent. He played Toilet Kids recently on the Turbo Graphics. I'm like, wow, we're not the only ones, huh?
Wow.
I was thinking we need to redo that challenge, and then I'm like, wow, he just played it recently. So
yeah, then he'll think we're copying him.
Yeah.
That's funny. That's funny. So, well, what else we got to talk about? We have anything else, or we want to go into what are we working on? You working on anything besides just playing the random stuff?
I should get to those homebrew games, E.T. and Fast Food for the Intellivision that I got a few weeks ago because I couldn't wait to get them, and now I have them, and they're kind of sitting there. But I really want to sit down and take some time with those, and not just be a quick weeknight thing real fast. You know, it's so easy to do iArcade real quick before bed each night, and I want to take my time with those. So
yeah, well, wait, I just want to go back. So you're saying you bought these games and you just haven't got around to play? That is so unlike you, Bo. This is...
You're right. You know, I think I have a couple Dreamcast games, homebrew Dreamcast games for the last 3 years that have been sitting there still in the cellophane. So we're getting to those, I promise. They're not new anymore. So yeah, they're sitting right across here, by the way.
Nice. Oh, hey, G Gage is in the house. Hey, what's going on? What's going on, buddy?
G-Gage.
Hey, G-Gage.
You just snuck the win in on the what did we play? Monster Bash. You only beat everyone else by 10 times their score.
Monster Bash. I came in third. That never happens.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. So good games all around. That's a fun table though. That is a fun table. So
I was working in the lab one night.
just a sliver. Yeah, that was an incredible game. I think he put in the Discord all the different monster bashes he got, and all the he got like 3 of everything you could possibly do in that game. But
what was that other fun one? Was it Gottlieb Class of 1812 or something like that? That reminds me.
Yeah, that's a cool horror themey type of. Yeah, Livewire got Tony Hawk on the Dreamcast this week.
Oh, cool.
Oh, cool. I had that game, Livewire. That's a good game. Yeah, especially on the Dreamcast.
Yeah, you got 3 bash and 3 rocks. Yeah, amazing game.
I don't know what I did, but all of a sudden the table went nuts and all this stuff was going on and music was going and all the monsters were out and I was like, balls were flying everywhere and I was like, holy crap, yeah! And then I was third place. So.
Yeah. Nice. Yeah. Yeah, that's a crazy game. Yeah, you got those. Yeah, you get into that mode. You went to Monster Bash, where all the characters come out and you just points are flying every which direction. Yeah, I do that on so many different pinball tables where I'm just all of a sudden like 40 million. What the hell did I do?
Yeah, it's like you have like 2 games that suck ass, or the first 2 balls really suck ass, and then all of a sudden everything goes nuts. You're ready to quit for the night, and everything goes nuts, and you're like, "Wow, what just happened?"
Yeah, I don't know what happened. I went into that with 10 million total. I came out with 80 million. I don't know how.
Yeah,
something happened.
You're ready to quit and say, "Forget this," and then all of a sudden something like that happens.
Right. Yeah. It's kind of like this show. You're getting ready to quit, and then Greg leaves, and then it just gets so much better. So you're like, well, just stay on. Yeah, and then if his Chiefs don't come back and win, oh my gosh, it's going to be bad. We'll all have to show up with Chiefs hats next week and be like, hey, did they win?
Yeah. Chefs, that commercial they keep showing, the chefs. Great googly moogly.
Yes. Feral Inferno randomly has craving for some Golden Grams. Yeah.
The Golden Girls. You have a craving for the Golden Girls?
Yeah. And
Dorothy or Sophia? Which one? Mike's done. Is it Dorothy or Sophia, Mike?
None.
Go for it.
Golden Grams were good. S'mores cereal was good, and what was the other? Honeycomb were pretty good cereal.
Oh yeah, honeycombs.
Yeah, Mike's like, I swear, I typed Yum Feral before it switched from Golden Grams to Golden Girls. It's a frame up.
B. Arthur was hot. B. Arthur was hot. She was in the military. Wasn't she a Marine?
Oh,
probably. Golden Girls cereal. Just add milk. They come with their own milk. You don't have to add it.
Just add honey.
Oh my goodness. So, all right.
Oh,
Mike, you got something in the works?
Yeah, he does.
I'm going to be working on playing Super Metroid. So I never beat the game. I have it. It just I never got around to playing it. So I know about the original, but I need to beat that game. So that's my next project that I'm going to be working on. Because I was kind of debating which one I wanted to do, either a PlayStation 2 game or another Super Nintendo. So I said, no, I want to try to beat Super Metroid. So that's my next project.
Yeah, I remember the first time playing that game. And that's after I did all that beating of the first one on the NES and then playing that one. And I was blown away playing Super Metroid. Because I never had played the Game Boy Metroid 2 at that point. So Super Metroid was my next step. And when you're going back in there, seeing the whole place that was destroyed in the first one, and everything, I just thought that was really cool.
Yeah, Greg should be happy about that. He's been playing, Metroid Dread. So
he's been playing Metroid, all of them. He's like me. He starts something and never finishes it.
Arcade KS and Wacky Mac. No, I actually love PlayStation, guys. PlayStation 2 is actually one of my favorite CD-based consoles. So no, I plan on doing a video. I was like thinking about what do I wanted to play, because I was going to play a PlayStation 2 game or Super Metroids. I've been looking at Super Metroids. Like, no, I need to beat that, because I can probably get that knocked out compared to a PlayStation 2 game that takes a lot longer to beat. So I'm gonna do this one just to kind of get a break from Chrono Trigger, because Chrono Trigger I spent a lot of time on trying to beat that game. And then yeah, after I do Super Metroid, then I'll definitely go back to playing a PlayStation 2 game and posting that up as well. And guys, I gotta take off. I gotta go pick up my son from his youth group, and I'll be right back. So unless you guys are gone, so I'll be right back.
Well, you should go back to PlayStation 1 and do some siphon filter.
Yeah, shocking people. Yep. All right, I'll catch you guys later.
All right,
later, Mike. All right, and suddenly there's two.
the only two that have made it every single week for 39 weeks.
39 weeks.
Wow.
That's a record that may never be broken, at least not till next week when we're here for 40 weeks.
40. Be a good time to retire.
Yeah. I was nervous that I wasn't going to make it today. I mean, I think I sent you that text in there. Man,
you had me worried.
We had the just the worst luck and illness. I think I told you, me and one other guy do the day shift at the hotel. We're the only day shift for the front desk, and he's been in the hospital since Monday with just a really bad flu, and he can't get his oxygen level back up. He's been knocked out, and now 3 other people have gone out sick for the front desk, just in the front desk people, and it's like we are so shorthanded. I didn't know if someone was coming to relieve me at 3. I'm like, I don't even know. The guy who was supposed to went to the hospital this morning. So it's like, I don't know, but so I was a little nervous, but I was just going to lock the front door. Like I said in the chat, I can flip that switch and those doors won't open. And it'll usually take people an hour before they realize they could go around, but yeah. So, in Livewire, just the two of us, I am going to play that Sonic game you got me. I'm ready to do it. I just haven't gotten the time to do it because I've been so busy since we got back from our trip. But I will be doing a video. That's my upcoming stuff. I will be playing that Sonic game that Mr. Livewire gifted me, and that'll probably be like Thursday. It'll come out because
nice.
I already shot videos for Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday.
I have that game somewhere, so now that Greg played it and you're going to play it, maybe I'll play it. I think I have it on the PS5 in the library somewhere, so I should pull that one out.
Yeah. I mentioned somewhere that I had never played a Sonic game, so Livewire said he needed to remedy that. So, I think I'm all set up. I just got to get it installed and get it recorded. So I'm looking forward to it. But I did play Tuesday's video is going to be the Big Timber game.
Oh, nice.
I got Kelly to play with me.
Oh, excellent.
Like normal for Kelly, I'm like, come on, we got to play this. And she was kind of like, do I have to? And by the end, she's like having a blast. She's always worried she's not going to be good enough. And it's like, what? We're running around with an axe cutting pretend trees. It's not like we're saving children,
that game gets crazy quick, right? You're trying to get to the next tree and you're tripping over stumps and everything else.
Yeah. And Chaos got wood. Yeah, and anybody that's new to the channel, or if you've been watching the channel for a while, you'll know that now that it's just me and Poe here, any type of inappropriate joke is fine.
Yeah, we're good with it.
If it can be something that would make the average 5th grader laugh, we're all about it.
Most definitely. I work in a steel mill, so it's been nothing new. And before that, I was in the military. So, I mean, it's all good. Yeah.
But I don't get why it's not such a subtle thing in there. The things you got to worry about, granted, there are bears, but there's birds and bees in here. You go after the birds. You don't want to get hit by the bees. Birds and bees, they're getting you naked. It's all a government plot. Yeah.
Maybe you're ripping your own clothes off to get the bees out of there.
Bees in the car. Bees in the car. Your firearms are useless against them. Holy shnikes, it worked. But you can definitely, even if you showed, if you guys haven't watched Poe's video on Timber, go watch Poe's video because he talks a little more about the history of the game. But you show the two cabinets with Tapper and Timber, the obvious similarities, other than the artwork and the little foot bar on Tapper. Other than that, and the number of joysticks, but I thought the music just sounds very similar. It's
right.
Obviously a different song, but it's got the same musical tones to the notes and all that. And it's like if you didn't know the game existed and it was playing the attract mode, you'd be like, it's kind of like Tapper, but it's not. What is that game?
and the guys look similar.
Yeah, it's a neat little game, and I didn't even know it existed until you said something about it. And
and it was fun. And I did try it on my own last night with 2 sticks. I asked for that config. The guy was nice enough to make it for me. I tried it, and he was also nice enough to put up both modes of it on the PAX RS. I tried it, but then I did go back to the button mode where you could play 2-player again because I think I like that better, and now I have the ability to play it 2-player again instead of just 1 player. So,
because I thought about doing. Well, I knew I was going to do the 2-player, so Kelly and I could do the video, and then I did download the single-player twin stick version, but as soon as Kelly and I played it and I saw that she was enjoying it and having fun, it's like, well, I'm not going to turn it into a 1-player. Wow. Sudden emergency yawn that I hiccuped in the middle of. That was odd. So yeah, I'll keep it in 2-player mode because the more times you can play things 2-player.
The other thing they switched that I asked for is you can play as Ralph now on Rampage. So they changed that up, and that's really cool. I tried that out and played as Ralph by myself. So, but the only thing with that is you can only play if you have 2-player as George and Lizzie or George and Ralph. You can have Lizzie and Ralph, but it's one person controlling both of them. The way the setup is.
Oh. Okay.
So, it's at the same time. So
yeah. I don't know why, I always tended to play as George anyway.
My oldest brother did, and I think that was always because he was the older brother, so he always got to be like, unless it was on my Nintendo, he got to be the main character, right? So I ended up being Ralph, but I loved the Wolfman after that. But then the Nintendo version of it came out, and you couldn't be Ralph, and that really pissed me off when I was a kid. They only had Lizzie and George on the Nintendo version. So then we finally got this on our iArcade, and you couldn't be Ralph, and I was like, "Oh man, that sucks ass." So that's why I asked for that.
Yeah, I thought it worked out perfect for us because then Kelly ended up being Lizzie. So it's like, okay, I'm the dude, you're the chick, and I always played with George anyway. So, but
if you do the config,
cool though that they.
Yeah, because if you do the config, you can play 1-player as Ralph. Or as Lizzie, or as George. But if you play 2-player, somebody has to be George, and then somebody else can be Ralph or Lizzie.
So I'll do the config then, so that it basically opens up all the options. If Kelly and I want to play, we can still be George and Lizzie.
All right.
Yeah. Chaos says we should check out the sequels to Rampage. They're really good.
Well, I have played those. I've played World Tour. I used to love that one. And also there was one on the Wii that me and the kids used to play. So always loved the Rampage game.
Yeah. I don't think I've played, I'm trying to remember, but I don't think I've played the sequels, but I'll definitely check them out.
World Tour is on the iArcade too, and the PAX RS. And I did ask at the same time for a config to play as Ralph on there, but I asked for it at the same time as I asked for it for Rampage, and I think they kind of missed that. So, yeah. So you can only play as George and Lizzie on World Tour.
Yeah, maybe I'll ask in there, and they'll think it's someone else. They won't know it's the same deal. But
they'll be like, we're sick of Mr. Postal asking for shit.
Right. I'm just liking that's another side benefit for me with the iArcade and of course with the Mystery Encoder chip and PAX RS doing all these things, and it's awesome. But I have the added benefit that you keep finding all these games and then sending me the zip files. You're like, hey, check this one out. Check it. But then it ends up making my channel look like a copycat channel because I keep playing these games that you've played, and I'm like, yeah, that is a cool game. I'm going to play it too.
Well, I'm usually checking out the Discord during my break or my lunch at work to see what's been added. And then if I see something that I think is cool, then I'll come home on my laptop and download it and try to send it to you just to try to make it easier so that you don't got to go back through and then give you the option. If you want to put it on there, you can. If not, But I'll try to look up videos on the game to see if it looks interesting first before I'll put it on there. Now, I did put Return of the Jedi on there. They recently put that on there, and they said they fixed the controls, but it doesn't control well. So I don't think it's worth putting on the iArcade. I tried to play it on there, and of course, with no way of deleting it, now it's just kind of stuck on my iArcade. I don't think it controls good at all on there. So,
oh, geez. Yeah. I'm starting to get more games on there than I thought I would put on until the Viper board came out.
Yeah, definitely for me. Definitely.
Yeah, we're not getting much news on the Viper board though.
Bobby Vu's testing it out, and they're waiting while he's testing it. So I haven't heard anything. I'm banking on them getting it out because I have Glenn's light gun on order, waiting for that thing. So they need to hurry it up a little bit.
Yeah, that's another thing that I've been messing with this week is the light gun options. And because I thought I'd just get a couple Sinden guns, and when the Viper comes out and do all that, but then I started thinking, I started looking at that retro shooter. Have you seen that?
Yeah, I've seen that. Yep.
It comes with the little Pandora box, Raspberry Pi looking thing.
Yeah.
And I've seen some mixed reviews on it though. They say some games work pretty good, some games don't. And
I think with Sinden, you're getting something quality, but it does sound like the setup can be, well, I mean, everything can be a little, if you're not used to it, I guess, a little more involved. Right. So far, I've been happy with Glenn stuff, but that is really pricey for one gun, but it's just going to be me anyway. And I like the idea of a rifle or a shotgun. Yeah. And you could take the stock off and make it a shorter gun or whatever. So I went ahead and went with that, but it is really, really pricey for that thing.
Yeah. Yeah. But, I'll probably get the pistols because I'm going to get two. Because that's one thing I can get Kelly to play is those light gun type shooters. She likes playing those too. Because I think it's because she can crack me in the head when I fuck up. She can hit me with one. So, but
we have to have the Viper board because reading some of these things in the PAX RS, they have tried Area 51 and a few others, and there's too much slowdown on the arcade itself if you just push it. So you're going to need something like that Viper board, in order to get these games to run at the right speed for these light guns and certain things like that.
Yeah. Yeah. And one of the scary things, or one of the things I didn't really like with the retro shooter was it's a fixed game list. there's like 99 shooter games you get with it, which sounds good. Some of them don't run as well as others from what I've seen, but you can't just add another game. Like I want that old crossbow game. I used to love that game, and I don't think it's on there, but it might have been. I didn't look through the whole list, but I like the idea of being able to add, I might only put like 10 things on it that, 10 games, because I don't.
But you want them to be 10 games that you want and not what somebody else.
Yeah.
And Sinden is going to give you, and Glenn's gun, you're going to be able to have like the feedback or whatever and stuff. I don't know do those ones have feedback to them or?
Yeah.
Oh, they do? Okay.
Yeah, I was watching Retro Ralph. He was doing a thing on it, and I think it was him. That's one of the things he thought they did very well was the feedback when you shot. But it did look like the aiming when they put the crosshairs on the screen, it looked like it was a little floaty, like it was a hair, fraction of a second behind kind of thing. Okay. And but Ralph is a big fan of that Gun for IR, which I don't know anything about those, but he did say they're pricier. And the big benefit of the retro shooter is you get 2 guns and the little Pandora box thing for less than the cost of 2 Sinden guns. So,
but you're going to have to put in isn't there little sensors that you have to put around?
Yeah, you put sensors on your TV or your screen, whatever you're using for it. So, which that doesn't bother me too much, because then I would probably hook that up to a TV and I wouldn't be running it through the arcade. I'd hook it up to a TV, and
okay, yeah.
I do worry a little bit because of Kelly's elevational challenges and the angle. For me and you're taller than I am, so when we're doing our iArcade videos, we're looking down at the screen, and Kelly's like, a 4-year-old at the kitchen table trying to see what's for dinner. Kelly's down below, so I am a little concerned when she's trying to do shooters on the iArcade with the angle of the screen. Is that going to mess with her, or am I going to have to get like a little step ladder for her to stand on when she wants to play big kid games?
Well, and another thing with this is I love shooter games. I love light gun games. But a lot of this I want to do for my channel. And a big thing right now is YouTube wants nothing to do with anything with guns. So are we going to be able to make videos for our channels with any of these light gun things, actually showing the light guns on the screen? You know what I mean? Like, we like to have a camera on ourselves while we're doing it. Are we going to be allowed to do that is what I'm wondering.
Yeah. See, Derek has some experience with Gun for IR. And I don't have any. I didn't even really look into it very much, so I don't know much about the Gun for IR. And but I'm torn because I love the idea of having them on the iArcade, and I could 3D print little holsters to put them on the sides and all that stuff.
I know I won't be able to do that with the Glen gun because that thing looks like it's a big old shotgun. That's another downside.
You could put a couple little hooks or something, maybe put it sideways across underneath.
Remember the 80s? Kids would drive to the high school with a gun rack in the back of their pickup truck with the guns fully loaded back in those days. Right in your pickup truck.
Yeah. But so I don't know. I'm torn on the whole thing, but I happened across that retro shooter thing and saw, oh shoot, Mike's back. I didn't even see it. Sorry, Mike.
Hey.
Oh, good. I'm going to step away for a second now that Mike's back. Thanks, Mike. You can run a distraction here. Oh, and I think I hear Nacho barking out there too.
Oh. All right. So how did the picking up the kid went uneventful? Everything was fine.
Yeah, everything was fine. Got him and brought him back. Yeah, speaking of which, I know me and my son, he likes watching like some of the shows I used to watch as a kid. So I don't know if you're familiar with the A-Team. You remember that show? So I tried looking it up. They used to have it streaming like on, I think it was like Amazon, and I couldn't find it. It's like, what? All the shows are locked, so you got to pay for it to unlock it. And before it was just free on there. So I'm like, so I tried looking up before I could watch Gilligan's Island. I couldn't find that. And I'm like, I'm kind of done. A lot of these streaming services aren't playing a lot of the good shows I like to watch. So I ended up buying the Blu-ray. I found it on Amazon, and I just bought it recently, and I just got it here. I don't know if anybody can see it.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it's the Blu-ray set. So it's got the whole complete season on it. And I watched the first episode, which I've never seen before on TV before. And I was like, whoa, okay, this kind of explains about why they're soldiers of fortune or whatnot. And my son really got into it because he ended up watching the movie with me like 2 weeks ago. So he watched the A-Team movie. And then after that, he's like, Dad, don't you have that? And I said, no, I don't own it. So we tried looking it up on Amazon, couldn't find it. So I ended up just buying the physical media, and now we're watching it. And it's good. A lot of these old shows are good. I'm glad he kind of likes it, because now he wants me to collect Knight Rider Blu-ray. So I'm going to buy that.
Nice.
What's the other show he likes? He likes the Airwolf. So we're going to get that as well. And is there another? Buck Rogers. He wants to watch that too, and Battlestar Galactica. And
cool.
Of course, Dukes of Hazzard, and then Gilligan's Island. We want to get that as well. So, yeah.
Nice. Buck Rogers. Yeah. You know, it's funny.
Yeah.
You know, it's funny.
I had an action figure of him. What was his name? Twiggy? Twiggy?
Twiggy.
Yeah.
I had the action figure. My grandma wasn't hip at all, right? So you got all the Star Wars action figures and all the cool dudes, and then here comes Grandma on Christmas. And here's your action figure. And now what the hell are you going to do with him on the battlefield, right? I guess stormtroopers and Skeletor are going to blow him up every time.
He's got to carry Dr. Theopolis. That's his job.
I think what we had him do is
operation.
He would hang out with Pidge from Voltron and Wicket and Paralay from Dungeons and Dragons and all those little wimp guys. We'd have them hide out in the mountain base somewhere and just hide from everybody else.
Yeah. No, you know what's funny though, Mike? You started this off by talking about the A-Team, and today at work I was talking with our maintenance guy, who is another one that ended up in the hospital, but now he's back to work from this illness. But I was talking to him, and there was a guy eating breakfast at the Holiday Inn Express, and his phone kept going off. Dun, 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 dun. I'm like, that dude's phone is doing the A-Team, and the maintenance guy's, he's never watched the A-Team, clearly, because he's like, what? Huh? I'm like, his phone is playing the A-Team. He's like, oh, okay. And then he walked away. I'm like,
oh, man. There was
today. Yeah,
an A-Team movie recently, wasn't there, that I had no part of? I didn't watch, but
well, thanks to that movie, though, my son wanted interest to watch the old '80s shows, so that's why I bought the Blu-ray. So if it wasn't for
Liam Neeson was in the movie, right?
In it. Yeah,
that sounds familiar. That sounds familiar.
Yeah,
I didn't watch that. One theme that's way better, in my opinion, than that made a good ringtone was Knight Rider. It makes a good phone ringtone. And I think Game Freak was on here earlier. Game Freak said that Old Poe should have asked for Fonzie versus the Hoff. Yeah. And Fonzie would have won. Fonzie would have won that easily. I'm sorry. I love the Hoff too. Love Knight Rider, but Fonzie could fix a jukebox or a pinball machine with just by slamming the thing. So the Hoff would have been done unless Kit was involved. Then I don't know.
Well, it depends. So when Fonzie, what age? Remember when he gets older, he works and coaches football for the water.
Fonzie became a shop teacher and had a full beard and mustache for a few episodes, I think. And actually, he became like the boyfriend of a woman that her daughter was the little girl from Poltergeist. For some of those later episodes, long after they jumped the shark, I think it was just Fonzie and Potsy and the Cunninghams were left on the show.
Yeah.
I watched way too much TV when I was a kid, so
I just remember him being on that movie Waterboy. Like, whoa, that's a change from being a rebel. Now he's a coach that he gets intimidated pretty easy.
I tell you, I met Henry Winkler at Steel City Con. What a sweet little guy. You know, he looked like a little college professor or something, little purple sweater. And this was before Steel City Con got huge. And me and my kids were the only ones near his booth at the time. It must have been early in the day. And he just came out around and gives the kids a hug. And he's shorter than both of my kids at the time. And this was like 6 years ago.
Yeah.
You know,
wow.
And I told him, you know, when I was a kid, of course, Fonzie, Mr. Wrinkly, you were my hero. You know, Fonzie was super cool and could get through anything without actually fighting anybody. You know, you could get out of a situation just by being cool. And he said, would you look at me? Look at all the bigger I am. I had to find a way out of a fight without actually getting into a fight. just such a cool guy, you know.
Yeah.
So what you see is
awesome.
what you get with Henry Winkler.
Yeah.
Just a nice guy.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, I'm guessing.
Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to throw in a really quick. Even if he if Fonzie fought the Hoff, even with Kit, Fonz would just get a little tap on the side of the Kit and shut him down, and then it would just be the Hoff.
He even showed up on Sesame Street when I was a kid watching Sesame Street. And Fonzie showed up. I'm like, holy crap! Fonzie's on Sesame Street. But the Hulk showed up on Mr. Rogers.
Oh.
I was blown away by that too, because Fred Rogers, you know, he was from Pittsburgh, and he showed up on the set of The Incredible Hulk to show that the Hulk wasn't scary. And Fred Rogers put on the forehead and the nose that Lou Ferrigno wore for the makeup to show that the Hulk wasn't scary. And I remember watching that like, Fred Rogers, Lou Ferrigno, Bill Bixby, holy crap. I'm in heaven right now. I love all these guys, you know?
Yeah. Nice. Yep. What were you going to say, Mike, before I cut you off?
Well, speaking of which, I did meet Elvira over at our Comic-Con here in Portland.
Well, you just beat all my stories. I never met anybody.
Yeah, and she was a really nice lady. It's one of those type of people. I remember seeing some of her fans going up there, and they're like, "Can I hug you? I loved you on, you know, when she was on that, the marathon show." And she didn't mind. She gave people hugs, you know, and I was like, "Wow, that's really cool." Because I've seen other people where they're like, no, you got to pay me or whatnot," and she didn't care. She would get have a picture there, even though you're supposed to pay. And then sometimes she just let, her fan do that. She's like, no, it's okay. You know, I want to get this picture. I'll take it. I'll give her the freebie. So, and you'll
the
see
big
that
question, Mike.
Yes.
So you met Elvira?
Uh-huh.
What color are her eyes? You didn't even notice she had eyes, did you? You didn't even notice.
I thought I didn't realize she had eyes.
You know, I had a friend
to her neck. She didn't even bring her head to the show.
A coworker told me the same thing about the Green Ranger, and I didn't watch Power Rangers. That was after my time, but my nephew did. But he took his kids to Steel City Con, and he said that he didn't have any money left, but the Green Ranger said screw it and came out and took a picture with his kids for free, you know.
Yeah.
So you have some celebrities like that are pretty cool.
That's pretty true. I seen him at our Portland Retro Con too, and he did the same thing. He's one of those guys. I remember when he was there, I'd be kind of looking like, I see a bunch of people standing around him, and then he'd be like kind of doing his like Power Ranger chant or whatever it is, and they'd be raising their arm up high and then saying whatever. I'm like, wow, that guy really loves his fans, and
that's
you can
cool.
tell. Yeah, they just gathered around him and they were doing something. But it's like I didn't see that too much when I seen the other. They're behind their table. signing away the autographs, but he would actually come out and say, "Hey, you guys want a group photo?" And then they get a group photo.
Yeah.
And then he said, "Here, I'll post it here, and you guys can grab the picture here." So he would actually do group pictures and give it away to his fans.
One of the other ones that I saw like that was Rob Schneider from Saturday Night Live.
Yeah.
When COVID was happening and we went, he was coming out, no mask on, and just hugging everybody that walked by, and shaking hands and hugging everybody, no mask, and didn't care. So you have some celebrities that are like that.
Met the lady on Friday. So which lady was that on the Friday the 13th Part 3? I'm kind of foggy with the different films.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Was that
either.
when Jason had the hockey mask? Because I know he started out with a rice bag over his head or something like that.
That's the first one that he had the hockey mask. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is the first movie with the hockey mask, but I'm not sure I'd have to see it again. Yeah.
Oh, nice.
But interesting. I've never really met too many famous people. But
I know the Slytherin guy from Harry Potter. My daughter wanted to meet him. What the hell's his name? The one that was always like, yeah, who, Potter? That little, we met him after he was grown. And he was cool as hell to my daughter and us and me too. He was like, "Get in here, Dad," and putting his arm around me and stuff. So he was a really cool dude too, but I really had no interest. But really nice guy.
Yeah,
that's what I heard. I've heard that he's one of those that his character everybody hates, but he's a really great guy.
And Anthony Michael Hall, we met him and he was cool as hell. So
there
you go.
Yeah, I remember meeting. I saw The Miz from WWE, so I actually bought his VIP ticket to go see him. And one of the things I had like two, so he gave out like a poster of his, and then of course you can get the autograph thing, the picture that you want for him to sign. So you can only have one. And I had the two, and so I, of course, I only had enough money to get the one. So when it was my turn to get him to sign it, and I was wearing his T-shirt that said "Hello, I'm awesome" on it, and he just kind of glanced at me, and he saw I'm carrying the poster. He's like, "Hey, what's that?" I go, "Oh, it's your poster." And then he's like, "Well, how come you're not wanting me to sign that?" It's like, "Well, I only have enough money for this one." And he's like, "Here, give me that photo." And the other guy's like, "Yeah, he didn't pay." And then Miz is like, "Shut up, man. I'm going to sign this poster for him for free." So,
that's cool.
It's like, wow. Usually, he portrays himself as a heel, the bad guy, right, on the WWE, but he was like totally cool. He saw, of course, I'm a fan, and then he saw the poster. He's like, "What? Why aren't you letting me sign that?" So he ended up taking it, signing it, and and the other guy was like, "Oh, he didn't pay," and he's like, "Yeah, shut up. I don't care." And he's like, signs it and gives it back to me. So really cool dude. Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, I guess that's the closest for me would be the Pat Tillman story that I've told before, where he came out and signed autographs, and he was calling the other players out because they made a stand like 50 feet away from where the players were, and he's like, and he still cracks me up because he yelled out this, "Some of you guys aren't even going to make the team. Come over here and sign these things for these guys." But and he was telling the other players, he's like, "Man, this is why we get to play a game and get paid millions of dollars. People like this." So, yeah. And then that was the year before he quit football to go and join up in the Army and get killed. But great guy. He was a great guy.
I think 2015 we met Ralph Macchio, Billy Zabka, and what's his name? Sensei, the bad Sensei. This was long before they were doing Cobra Kai. I think before they even knew it. And I bought this shirt beforehand that had the Cobra Kai emblem on it, and it said, "I kicked Daniel LaRusso's ass in '84." So I go get this picture taken with all three of them, and Ralph Macchio looks at it before we take the picture, and he's like, "So you kicked my ass in '84, huh?" And I said, "Yeah, I was 11 years old. I kicked your ass. I don't even know martial arts." And they just busted out. Billy Zabka was the coolest of. They were all cool, but Billy Zabka was just laughing his ass off at this whole thing, And little did we know that some years later they were going to start the Cobra Kai series. So that was really cool. But Yeah, really cool experience with some of these people. Now, when I met the Goonies people, I didn't even bother getting in line for Feldman. He walked in like it was a wrestling entrance. He showed up late. He showed up in these big fuzzy slippers and just like, holy shit, everybody's parting ways. And they had to have special drinks and stuff for the guy. And everybody else from the Goonies were like regular people. You know, you go out in line for those. And Sean Astin and everybody else were cool as heck. But there were long lines for like Sean Astin and a few of the other ones. But Feldman and the VIP passes, even some of those people didn't even get to see the guy because he showed up late each day and left early each day and stuff like that. He was just, you know, he's Feldman. He was the prima donna of the group.
Yeah.
So
wow.
I didn't bother. I did get the group picture with him in it because they show up. All of them show up for the group picture. But yeah, I didn't bother with the personal autographs from Feldman. But so you meet some of them that are really cool, and then other ones are just what you figure they're going to be when you go to these things.
Yeah. Yep. It's crazy. All right. What's this over here? Oh, hey, I just saw your note, Mike, that said you're back.
I see that there's a chat on here, but I'm using my phone, so I can't see anything.
Yeah,
it's probably
I just now
from Mike.
noticed there was a night a private chat. I'm like, what's that all about? Oh, it's Mike. He's back. But
I see Derek
right.
asked me, what about his eyes, Mike? I don't know, Derek. I don't usually look guys in the eyes.
Yeah. So his eyes. Lou Ferrigno had the nicest eyes ever. We did meet him too.
Mr. Livewire asks, "Where's Greg?" Well, Livewire, Greg asked you a question like half an hour ago almost, and you didn't answer him. He repeated it like 3 or 4 times, and then he said, "Fuck this," and he left. So I don't know what's going on between you and Greg Livewire, but
here's something that I don't know. I've been wanting to point out about Greg. Now he looked like what did we say, Trapper John, MD with the beard. But now that it's gone, he looks like what's his name, Larry Bud Melman. Do you remember him? If you don't, Google him. Google him. I didn't want to say it. I didn't want to say it right in front of him. But if you don't know who Larry Bud Melman is, look him up. Rest in peace, Larry Bud Melman.
Yeah. Livewire saying the game should be over. I don't know. If it went the wrong way and it's over, he isn't coming back. He's drowning his sorrows.
No, I think he went to Red Lobster, isn't it? Took Betty
yeah.
Betty the dog and Red Lobster. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. He's drinking up all the Milwaukee Best ice that didn't get shipped to Pittsburgh. He's
that story was actually a true story, and it all came about because yesterday I drove out to the grocery store and there was no Milwaukee's Best and there was no Nat Daddy ice. All that was left was Genesee ice. So as I'm driving back home and I'm like, these roads are clear, where were the beer trucks? This is ridiculous. Why were the shelves empty? And it all came from there. There's no script. Old Poe just went nuts. So there you go. That's where the weather report came from, and then it just went nuts from there. So yeah. Kelly needs to have her own show. It's time, Kelly. You're ready.
Oh, that's funny stuff. Yeah. And just for the record, for anyone that's watching the show, Poe's got his beer there, and he just has it sitting out on the floor right by his feet, and the beer is now 20 degrees colder than it was when he took it out of his refrigerator.
Well, let me tell you something. I used to get bottled beer that I had out here, and I can't do that because it gets so cold out here in the wintertime when you open it, as soon as you take off that bottle cap, it freezes. It turns into a slushy.
Oh,
So you can't do that. Canned beer lasts a little bit longer out here than bottled beer does.
Yeah. When I was in the Navy, we went and they gave us R&R in Munich, and we drove down to Garmisch on the Austrian border. We went down there and we bought some fancy dancy Austrian beer in bottles, but we didn't have a fridge in our room, so we set it out on the windowsill. And then we went down to the bar or whatever, and we're drinking other beer and forgot about ours, and it just froze. The bottles didn't break though, but it froze. They were froze. We pop, like you said, as soon as you pop it, it freeze, and we're like, son of a bit. So we didn't, and then we tried to let it thaw and drink it, and it just wasn't the same.
If you ever seen, like when I was stationed in North Dakota, the fun thing to do was boil water on the stove, and then it's so cold outside, you would walk out the front door, and when you threw it, the water would never hit the ground. It would just turn into ice crystals before it hit the ground. That was before social media and all of that stuff, really. So, but that's what people did for fun, you know.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah, I never did that, but I've seen it done, but I've never done it. Didn't do that too often in Phoenix growing up.
Yeah, we lived in base housing, and it got so cold that even though we had the house, you know, nice and warm, the doorknob on the inside, our doorknobs would be covered in frost. It was the weirdest thing. You would go to open the front door and you look at it and it was just covered in frost, like frost bit meat or whatever, you know, freezer burnt meat or something in your freezer.
Yeah.
But I didn't mind it so much then. I was young. We were used to the cold. Now that I work in a melt shop and the molten steel is 3,000 degrees, I get cold easy. So we run a fan at night. We like to have the room colder, and we like to have the ambient sound or whatever at night. But I'm so cold that I got like 62 blankets on at night when I'm laying in bed. So then I wake up and I got to pee, and I'm like, I don't want to go pee. I'll lay there for 20 minutes thinking about going to pee instead of just getting up to go pee, because I know it's going to be cold when I get out from under those blankets. You know?
Yeah. I tell people all the time, because I've never been to North Dakota, but I lived in South Dakota for 2 years. And I tell people I've never been as cold in my life as I was in South Dakota. And I did 4 months in Iceland. It's freaking cold up there in them Dakotas. My parents moved us there when I was in junior high from Phoenix to Rapid City, out of the frying pan into the freezer. We made it 2 winters, and then we moved back to Arizona. Yeah, but that's what happens when you visit Rapid City, South Dakota in June, and you come from Phoenix, where it's already been 105 degrees for a month, and you get there and it's like 75 degrees and nice, and you're like, hey, let's move here. And then you discover later on that they have a February, and it kind of makes up for it.
They had this thing where, you know, I didn't go to Minot until January after my tech school. So we would have to qualify in shotgun. In my career field, that's the gun you were going to use, was shotgun for close and century, 12-gauge shotgun. And so when you got there, that's whenever you trained and everything. Mine was January, so we trained in shotgun in January. So every year I would have to re-qualify in shotgun in January outside at the range in Minot, North Dakota, where it's 30, 40 below, and you're out there at the range shooting with that thing. And man, that sucked. It sucked ass. You're out there like, you look like Randy from A Christmas Story, all bundled up with your parka and 500 layers on trying to shoot this thing, which, how hard is it to qualify with a 12-gauge shotgun? You got the target. You're going to hit the damn thing. At least I hope you are. If not, then you don't deserve to have the qualification.
Right. Oh, okay. You were talking about actually shooting. I thought you were poking a hole in the bottom of the beer can, and you guys had to qualify your shotgun.
A lot of people did that too.
We did in the Navy.
It's right. Well, it's North Dakota. It's cold. A lot of people. That's pretty much all they did was drink the entire time.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, Kelly was making a can't put my arms down.
I didn't even catch that whole thing the last few years. You know, it's on 24 hours, and I think I caught a couple little bits of it the last few years. My dumbass bought it on ultra high def or something like that last year. I don't know why. Why would you even buy Christmas Story? It's on all the time. I guess I just had I had to have it on physical since physical supposedly is going away. So
yeah, we cheated for most of the Christmas movies this year, other than we watched like 4 versions of Christmas Carol. But most of the other Christmas movies, we just watched YouTube reaction videos of people watching A Christmas Story and It's a Wonderful Life, and because you get all the highlights and you get to see someone else experience it for the first time. So
yeah, I missed a lot because I used to watch Garfield. I have the Garfield collection for all the holidays, and I didn't watch any of them. Halloween, Thanksgiving, and Christmas. Didn't watch any of the Charlie Browns this year. I did watch Christmas Vacation, and I didn't watch George C. Scott this year. So I watched Mr. Magoo's Christmas Carol, and I think that was about it. I missed Mickey's Christmas Carol that I normally watch. I brought them all down. I have the DVDs. And the wife decided that we were going to keep the holiday specials upstairs because they were taking up too much room. I brought them all down at the end of November. I had the whole stack. We're going to watch all of these. And we didn't watch nearly any of them. So
yeah,
that kind of sucks. The holidays came and went.
Yeah. Yeah, we watched most of them through reactions.
It's a Wonderful Life is my wife's favorite. We didn't watch that at all either. So it kind of like Christmas came and went, and we missed all the good stuff this year.
Yeah, it's crazy. It was a weird year here for us anyway. Kelly was gone for the beginning of the month and all that stuff. So yeah, it was a weird lead up to Christmas for us. But
yeah,
anyway, well.
We talked about absolutely everything aside from video games this week. So we talked about the military and everything.
Yeah, it's funny because a lot of the stuff for the last 20 minutes or so, this is the stuff that we talk about after the show. We just sit around, 3 or 4 of us will sit around talking stuff like this as if we were still on. But yeah, I don't know. Did you guys have anything you wanted to talk about gaming related or final thoughts or anything?
Oh, I did see the new Indiana Jones game. If anybody missed that, they had a trailer for it, and it looks like it's in the first person. And I seen the guy swinging the whip around. So, and I know. Oh, who is the voice actor? It's Troy Baker, I think it's the voice actor.
Oh, nice. What's that? Is that coming out for everything?
Yeah, it looks like it should be on Steam, PlayStation, Xbox.
Not
sure
nice.
If it's going to come out for the Switch, but it kind of looked like a VR game. But I'm gonna have to watch it again because you're like
I didn't hear about
that. Yeah, you can swing, with the whip and then beat the guy up or shoot him with your revolver. So. It looks cool. Nice. It's like, this is a new story, but it's like in a different perspective because it looks like it's kind of like yours, and then it goes in the third person. So yeah, totally different.
So it's a new Pitfall game.
Yeah. or Tomb Raider.
I didn't see that. I did play the new Walkabout course today, and I didn't even know that was out. It's funny because by chance this past week I was looking, and I didn't look on Google like you should do. I went on the PlayStation Store to see if there was any new courses for Walkabout, and I didn't see any. Yeah. And I thought, I thought maybe there would be something new, and I didn't see anything. So, and then I was watching Brooklyn Menace's show on Friday, and he was talking about a new course. And there it was. It came out Thursday. So I went ahead and got that, and I played that today live by myself, and it's fun. Around the world in 80 days, but it all takes place in the Eiffel Tower. And I happened to find all the balls by myself.
Nice.
One of them was really hard to find, but I did find it. So, and it's pretty cool. So,
excellent. Yeah, I saw your video went up. I didn't get a chance to watch it between work and coming out here. But
yeah, I decided to play it live. I wasn't going to do it live, but if you don't do it live with PlayStation's own thing, they only record for an hour and it cuts off. And I thought it might go over an hour. So if you do it live, it will record over an hour, or it'll stream over an hour. And I also thought if I do it live, since you were at work, maybe you would catch a part of it, but I can't see who's watching me while I'm streaming in VR. So it said 4 people watched me. I have no idea who the 4 people were. I won't know until I get the replay, and if it shows me if anybody was even chatting. I don't even know if they were. So, but it's a pretty cool course, so I look forward to maybe sometime playing it with you guys again. And we'll go through the whole thing there, and I think it would be pretty cool if we can get a chance to play it together.
Yeah, I definitely want to play.
Yeah. I didn't get a chance to. I got kind of busy near the end of my shift at work, so I didn't get a chance to see. I didn't even know you went live until I got home. And then I saw that it was.
Well, I got a hole-in-one, and I think that might have been my first ever hole-in-one, but I made up for it by sucking a lot at all the other holes in it. So
there you go. As long as you balance it out. That's all we're looking for, is a balance.
2 other times I came close to a hole-in-one, but I hit it too hard, so it hit the hole and bounced off. But I did actually get a hole-in-one. I think that's my first ever hole-in-one at Walkabout. So.
Nice. Well, Kelly was just glad to know that you found your balls.
I found all my balls, even though it was cold.
It was cold, but he found it.
This has to be a record for how long we've gone talking about everything.
Yeah. We've covered about everything there is to cover.
We probably don't have anybody watching except for Kelly right now. I don't know. I don't have a laptop out here. I will have a laptop out here eventually once I run my wire up here. So
Chaos is still here.
Yep.
And Chaos is still here. I'm guessing that's Chaos both, right?
That's Chaos again.
And who else has been here? Livewire's still here, because Livewire was talking about Christmas in July when you were talking about missing all your.
Oh, yeah, they could do that. I still have the DVDs out until my wife goes crazy with the house being a mess and with things plugged in all the time. She always says to me, "Do you really need all those game systems plugged in downstairs in the basement? It's leaking energy. You need to unplug some of that stuff." I might need that Saturn plugged in. Now, it's been plugged in since 2015, and I haven't touched it since 2016, but it might need to be plugged in. She goes nuts about that kind of stuff. And I think like those DVDs sitting down there since November, she's going to go nuts any day here now. I need to get them back upstairs and tucked away in the bedroom. She's going to go apeshit. But not as apeshit as she's going to go as soon as she sees that Cat 6 sitting on the front porch on Wednesday. Why do you need that? I need it for the show. You need that for a show once a week? Yes, I do. I'm sick of using my telephone for this broadcast. I want to use my laptop.
It's for the ping pong table.
For the ping pong table.
Farrell said he went and got him some Golden Girls, and we're still going.
Wow. Oh, those Golden Girls. Oh, those Golden Girls.
He's hoping for the B. Arthur Toy Prize in the box.
Who was the hottest Golden Girl?
B. Arthur's box.
Who was the hottest Golden Girl? It wasn't Blanche. I'm sorry. She had that weird hairstyle that all them old ladies. It wasn't Blanche. She wasn't the hottest. It was Betty White. She was the hottest. Rose. Oh yeah. was Rose.
Well, Betty White, she was a hottie when she was young.
Oh yeah, I saw her old photos. Yeah,
and she's
Was it
kind of
Estelle
naughty.
Getty? Estelle Getty was like a lot younger looking than she looked in the show. Stopper, My Mom Will Shoot, Sylvester Stallone. We brought that up before.
Yeah.
She wasn't the hottest, though. It had to have been Betty White.
Yeah. But when Betty White was young, of course, that was in the 1800s. But she was a hottie when she was young. But she was a naughty girl. She would make a lot. If you see interviews with her, she would slip in the little innuendos. And
she hung out with all the cool dudes like Bob Hope and
she would have been a fun chick to hang around with.
She was funny.
Life. Yeah,
and her and Blanche. What was her name? Oh, I can't think of it right now. Was it LaRue? With her, what was her name? They both showed up on Mama's Family and those shows. That show back in the day.
Yeah, it's amazing, and I'm not afraid to say it. I'd have banged Betty White when she was 95. I don't care. I'd have done it.
You had to. You had to, right? Yeah. And we talked about the other day in a private chat. We talked about Walk Like an Egyptian, right? So was it Suzanne? Susan Hoffs?
Yeah. Yep.
She turned. What did she turn? She turned 65.
She turned my pants to fit and funny. That's what she turned.
She walked like an erection, and she did the eyes.
Yeah.
And you said, and I said, and we both said some things, and we meant it. We met.
That's right.
And I said she still wouldn't ask me, but I'm right here in case she needs something.
Right. I'd still get shot down by her in a heartbeat.
Exactly. I still walk with an erection for you. That's how romantic I am. I just couldn't believe they said it was her birthday and she was that age. I'm like, no, that's not possible.
Yeah,
I was just watching her.
Yeah,
just watching her video 40 years ago and was excited about her eyes.
Yeah, was she 65? Was it 65?
I think it was 65. Yeah, 65, and I couldn't believe it. I was like, no, that can't be.
Yeah. Yep. She's a hottie, that one. She's a hottie.
Those eyeballs.
Yeah.
Not too often. It's usually boobs and bum that give you a boner, not eyeballs. It's getting late in the
show. She's like, oh, my body's down here. Stop with the eyes.
Stop looking at my eyes. Those eyes really give me a boner. You're an ancient Egyptian now, baby.
See, people, you just got to stick around the show. We've been on for 2 hours and 23 minutes now.
Some people would say that's too long.
By the time we hit 2:20, anything can happen.
That was the best song. I mean, Manic Monday was okay. Heaven is a Place on Earth, but I mean, the Bangles, right? The Gang Bangles. That's
right.
Better than the Go-Go's. Were there any other girl bands aside from the Go-Go's and the Bangles back in the day? Poison.
Oh, they were hot. and Nelson. Come on, Nelson.
Nelson had the cutest twins ever.
Love them.
Yeah.
I can't live without your love and affection.
Oh, Bananarama says.
Bananarama. Yeah.
Oh, I love Bananarama.
Bananarama, the Rama the banana.
Yeah.
Holy crap. Okay, so there were
right,
3 girl
well,
bands.
Yeah. Yeah.
The facts of
Well,
life.
yeah. Facts like I don't know. It's to me, if you're going to talk about just on, their music was good too, but it's hard to beat. Ann was nice looking too, but Nancy Wilson in the '80s.
Oh, the Wilsons. Okay, yeah.
When Hart was putting out
Hart.
those, oh my gosh, Nancy Wilson. Jeez, like you can, yeah. I can't even.
Okay,
think of,
yeah, you got me. You got me. I forgot.
Yeah.
My brother
Hart.
had their cassette, and I told you before. I was walking through a Kmart one day, and I didn't have cable at the time, but I saw Paula Abdul dancing with MC Scat Cat, and it stopped me dead in my tracks. I saw Paula Abdul for the first, and I bought her cassette that day.
Yeah,
based solely on her looks. I didn't care. Yeah, she was gonna like me, damn it, and I didn't care about her music. I cared about her, but I listened to that cassette, and then I found out she was with Emilio Estevez, and it really pissed me off. I wanted to shoot Billy the Kid down.
Billy the Kid's going down. Yeah, that Straight Up song. Of course, in that video, she's got wasn't Arsenio in that video?
Arsenio Hall.
Yeah, but
tell me. Straight up, not tell me.
Kelly always laughs whenever that song comes on because when she does the she did it in the video like that, and I'll be driving all but my earbuds just told me that the battery is dying. So
this has been the longest and biggest show about nothing ever, and I hope people enjoy it.
Yeah, but
we talked about Nelson for crying out loud, and that's Mike's fault. I had Nelson's cassette tape. And I remember my mom liking that because she loved Ricky Nelson back in her day. She had his record albums, and I was listening to Nelson, and she was like, I remember his dad. He was such a good singer. And he died in a plane explosion or something like that.
Yeah. Ricky Nelson, besides dying in a fiery crash, which is tragic, but he was well known for, it took him 12 seconds to blink, I think, Ricky Nelson, when he was singing. He would be saying, he's like, because he always had those dreamy eyes when he would sing. He's like, is something wrong with his blinking ability? I couldn't figure it out as a kid. And then when I got older, it's like, oh, I see. He was doing that for the ladies, not for the 8-year-old boys. I hope. All right. My earbuds are about to die. It's just yelling at me the whole time. So I don't even know if I can switch. Any final thoughts? Do we want to move on? Do we want to end this thing?
Yeah, we should probably end it. I gotta work, and I'm gonna pee my pants.
Right. Yeah. So I don't got any. Mike, you got anything you need to say real quick?
No, I've already let everybody know what I'm going to do next. So yeah, I'm good.
All right. Bo, you didn't even have time to interrupt Mike's final thought.
Sorry, Mike. I'll interrupt you next time.
Oh, I think find an outro video.
We should do a giveaway for a Nelson poster for the next pinball challenge.
Yeah, we should. Only after the rain washes away.
I don't see any outros. How about this outro? Hey, we're gonna go.
See you later, guys.
See you later.
Now it's time to say goodbye to Jed and all his kin. And we would like to thank you folks for kindly dropping in.